1.20 is set to be announced in just a few days as of release of this video, showing off the next big update we can expect. And today I'll be sharing off 8 separate things I would like to see implemented inside of 1.20. Which, by the way, most of these ideas, they have nothing to do with any theme or anything like that. I've tried making them be as simplified and as, again, not based on any theme as possible. Starting off with one of the most obvious things is the fact that we have tons and tons of different types of stairs and slabs and everything like that, and Mojang themselves said they're only going to add slabs and walls and everything like that to stone-based blocks. And yeah, some people might argue for terracotta stairs or concrete slabs or something like that, but I'm thinking in more of a general idea of having, you know, more actual stone blocks that are missing certain types of things. These 5 separate blocks in particular are ones that come to mind. The dripstone, the smooth stone, the tuff, the calcite, and the basalt, all of them only have one singular type of block palette and none other types of blocks, and I think everyone can collectively agree that all of these are stone-based blocks, and, you know, if we look pretty hard and pretty close, we could see they have no stairs, they have no slabs or walls or anything like that. So it'd be cool to actually see them just fulfill what they said a while ago and actually filling in every single type of a stone palette with actual slabs and stairs and things like that. Speaking of nice things to have, I think everyone can collectively agree that it'd be nice that even if we don't get full offhand parody, it'd be nice to at least be able to put more things in our offhand slot. Because on Bedrock, at least, everything we could put in our offhand has no left trigger or anything like that functionality, so wouldn't it be nice to just have the ability to put in more types of things, say like a clock, or I don't know, some things like what we can see right here? Like, how cool would it be to, I don't know, hold a carrot on a stick, or a warp fungus on a stick, or something like that, to ride across the land on a pig, or on a strider, or something like that, while still having the ability to use your main hand? I don't know, something like this might have to be in a combat update on its own, but I think even if we're not going to have a full combat update anytime soon, it would still be nice, you know, have more abilities to actually put things in your offhand. Something else that would be nice to see is a whole bunch of new parody features from one edition to another. Ever since I started playing Hardcore, I've noticed so many more types of parody differences between both versions. Say for instance, if you want to have 3 single chests right here, well, on Bedrock Edition you kind of can't do that in any easy or, you know, slick way or anything like that. Whereas on Java Edition, it's just as simple as crouching down and placing them one after the other, and there's tons and tons of different types of parody things like that if I'm honest, both editions can benefit from. Like, sugarcane can't be bone mealed on Java, or Bedrock is still lacking the flexible item frame placement. Java goes up and down ladders super slowly, unlike Bedrock, and Bedrock is still missing these huge cannons we could see in the Nether. I'm not saying 1.20 should be completely focused on parody, but I do still think there is a lot of small and big parody changes that both editions can benefit from. But in kind of a similar ballpark to the stone idea, I think there should be more consistency with other types of blocks, such as, I don't know, having aging types of lightning rods. I mean, can you imagine the building type of possibility if you get, like, the orange ones, the green ones, the slightly tinted green ones, the slightly tinted orange ones? Like, can you imagine the building possibilities with things like that? And that's pretty much everything about the lightning rod. What, I don't have a lot to say about every idea, but something I do have a little bit more to say about is mob heads, because over the past, I think, like, 8 or so years, these have been the only mob heads we've had, and yeah, I think it'd just be nice to add on to this addition of mob heads we already got. Maybe similar to the Wither Skeleton, every mob has a chance of dropping it, or you could stick with the Charge Creeper route. I don't know, it's up to the devs, but either way, I still think there should be more mob heads added into the game to add more of an option for decorative blocks. But if we're not going to get that, then we should at the very least get the Alex head, because let's think about it. We've had the Steve head since pretty much as long as Minecraft has been around, and Alex, she's been around for about 8 whole years now, and not once has anyone even considered adding in her head. And again, I guess to keep with the consistency idea, it would be nice to finally have both default skins heads inside the game. We can make all the Steve Withers we want, but unfortunately no love for Alex Withers yet. Speaking of spreading the love, if you keep up with my seed videos, you might recognize this as the Tallest Pillager Outpost seed, which is a noteworthy seed because obviously Tallest Pillager Outpost, but also because there is a ton of ancient cities sitting right below these mountain biomes. Which, let's be honest, it does help actually finding ancient cities, looking for them under mountains, but how are you going to know exactly where you're going to look? How are you going to know if each and every type of mountain actually has one? Because let's think about this. All the other rare types of structures, they have some actual way on finding them. You could get maps for ocean ruins or for woodland mansions. You could use Eyes of Ender to find strongholds. But for the other ancient city located underneath mountains, we have no other way of finding it, unless if you're lucky enough to find mountains, and if that mountain is lucky enough to have a city underneath. So I guess just simply put, we should have a villager that actually Excuse me, I am trying to do an informal video here. It'd be an easy feature to add, and if I'm honest, just so it's not too unbalanced, just point to one singular ancient city, because mountains have a tendency of spawning in a whole bunch of ancient cities, so just having some other way of finding some rare structures would be nice to have. But do you know what's better than actually having an easier way in finding ancient cities? Leather horse armor. The only reason? Because you could actually craft it up, unlike literally every other type of horse armor. And if I'm honest, most people, late game especially, they don't really use horses, and I think just having that extra incentive of actually being able to craft the other types of horse armors would just be a nice little addition. But there's something even better than having leather horse armor. I know, hard to believe, and that is a brewing stand. Unfortunately, I am very inept in actually knowing how to brew things, but how cool would it be if, similar to a crafting table, there was sort of a crafting recipe and actually having inside of it? Because let's be honest, unless you look it up, you're gonna have no idea, myself included, at actually having to brew things, because, okay, nothing goes in there, maybe something like that. This is what I do all the time, just trying to put things in, see if they stick, and then brew them up. So again, just to simplify it, just add a crafting recipe to this actual stand. I'd use potions more. I'm sure a whole bunch of you'd use potions more, because again, just having that extra step of having to look it up or have to memorize every single thing you're gonna have to craft up or gather to make potions is just an extra hassle you don't want to deal with. But something that's not going to be a hassle is actually watching Minecraft Live to actually see what the next major update is going to be, and hopefully one or two of these ideas I have inside of this video will be implemented inside that update. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.